Hello, NFL fans. Welcome back to the UK's premier amateur NFL podcast, Hurdle the Line. Yes, you heard it right. We are back, guys. It's another Monday, well, Tuesday for you listeners, or whenever. But we are back, and we are 2 weeks from the draft. And I really appreciate my co-host Ollie reminding me of that today because I was trying to make us wait another 3 weeks. But anyway, as always, I have my friends Ollie, Batch, and Tom. I am Chapman, your co-host. Gentlemen, how are we this evening?
Very
Yeah,
good. I'm glad that you summed kind of cleared the whole where it is amateur. We're not getting paid by the producer as we would try to find out last week. So at least we know where we stand.
If Fletch, when he listens to this, make sure the note that did not come from me this time. I'm going to lay off that for a couple of weeks. I've been admonished by the powers that be at the AAW network. Oh, and that is to say, we are Hurdle Line. We are an AAW network podcast. We're so grateful for you listening, and to all the listeners there, please make sure we want to invite you to engage with us on socials, on Instagram, on TikTok. I believe we're on X, Twitter, whatever you like to call it. If you scan down in the profile of this episode, you will find it all there, and then you'll find obviously my co-host handles on all these socials. Please share and like and follow. Anyway, gentlemen, we're 2 weeks away. Everybody in here has multiple first round picks, I believe. No, wait, you don't anymore, Tom. You've given one away. No, you got multiple, right?
no,
Yeah,
we
you've
got
got
two.
two.
Yeah,
You've
we
got
got two.
two.
We got two.
Cleveland's got two, correct? Yeah.
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 And the Falcons have zero. You got some first picks to share? Just a needy team over here. Just a
Well,
little
no,
like
but
a 20th
I
pick.
don't. But if you want to come back into the first for the 24th pick again, like you did last year for next year's first, I'm happy to oblige.
I believe it was the 26th, but
It
maybe
was
it
the
was the 20th.
26th. Well, even better. You can come up 2 spots higher.
For a player that hit and then did a bunch of illegal shit and excuse my language and probably won't play football again. But anyway, let's not talk about that. We've got some news to hit today. The episode today, guys. Speaking of the draft picks, we have decided today's episode is going to be about our dudes. These are the prospects, our prospects, the dudes that we're really excited about in the draft. Now, in this, I challenge the guys. We're not doing like top 20 players, top even maybe 40 play ish, depending. But it's not going to be all the usual names. We've been crushing. Todd's been crushing tape for a week on this thing, all weekend. I think Ollie's done enough like sixth round tight ends, probably to make himself go cross-eyed. But anyway, no, we're just gonna have a fun conversation leading up. Next week, I think we're gonna do a little bit more of a deeper dive and hot takes into the draft. But this week, it's just about prospects that we like. All right. A little bit of news happening this week. There was one trade. This was the Packers sending Dontayvion Wicks to the Eagles for. Did we find out what the compensation was?
Yeah, it was a 2026 fifth round and a 2027 sixth round pick.
Sixth
And
round pick.
and he signed a 12 and a half year deal at 12 and a
A
half
12 and a half.
million.
12.5 year deal. That would be insane.
12.5 year.
Tom's
His
50
agent
older.
is amazing.
That's beating Patrick Mahomes 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
What's going
literally.
on?
That's
Yeah.
10 years, 12 years. Oh my God.
1 year, $12.5 million contract is what I think my co-host was trying to say, Batch there. What do we think about this, guys? I mean, really what this just means is AJ Brown is gone at some point before June, right? Or in June. Before July.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, does it happen draft night? Does it happen post June? Obviously, with the whole contract and the money stuff, it probably would point towards it happening post June. But it's one of them moves that just annoys me as a Browns. But any fan anyone that's a fan of a team that has a terrible wide receiver room like mine and Batch's team. I mean, even Tom might be not terrible, but Tom might
All
be
four
going,
of our teams have, excuse me,
four of
all
our
three
teams.
of our, yeah,
Yeah.
all three.
Yeah, so we're all sat here going, well, could my team not have done that? I mean,
Yeah.
a fifth and a sixth round pick, did you say? I mean, Dontayvion Wicks is a pretty solid receiver. I
Yeah,
would
it's
do
not
that.
bad, really.
But yeah, I think it tells you what the Eagles think is going to happen with AJ Brown, but I think it also tells you how confident the Packers are in obviously Matthew Golden. after what was a very, very disappointing rookie season. It's actually quite rare. I actually I'm a nerd, took a dive into this and looked at first round wide receivers that actually had the limited amount of production that he had in his rookie season. And it's quite rare that these guys actually then turn out to be good. Usually that's quite a worrying sign. But they clearly have enough faith in him. I mean, two wide receivers out of that room from last year now gone. So they clearly have that faith in him.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Romeo Dobbs signed with the Patriots, right?
Yep.
Didn't he? So that's two. Yeah, so there's a lot more on the shoulders of what? Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and Matthew Golden.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. I understand what you're saying in terms of with the AJ Brown thing, but at the same time, Dontayvion Wicks is still, he was wide receiver 3 in that package.
Yeah, he's not replacing that.
He's not going to be like wide receiver.
No.
But it does.
It's shoring up the. Yeah, it's addition by subtraction. I think a little bit there. So you're not going to get an AJ Brown. They know they're going to. So they're they're hoping 1 + 1 = 1. In terms of reception. Look, the Falcons have a dog crap wide receiver room right now. It's Drake London, and then luckily we got what is it? Oh shoot, I forgot his name. It doesn't matter. We do have Drake London, but what I was going to say is, but we don't have a first round pick, and this is a very, very good wide receiver. Well, on paper, as always Ollie likes to remind me, but this is a deep wide receiver class.
Then you have Hodgins. Is it Isaiah Hodgins or something? Doesn't he play for the Falcons? Is that right?
I think you're thinking Tahj.
Yeah,
I don't think he's Kadarius Hodge.
Kadarius Hodge,
Kadarius Hodge, Pro Bowl special teams player last year for the Falcons.
Shout out to Kadarius Hodge.
Great name, Kadarius.
Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, we got Jahan Dotson. So anyway, speaking of the Falcons, our right tackle, who would be the blind side of both Tua and Penix, Caleb McGarry, after 7 seasons, retired. And we knew it was going to happen, but you know what? The dude gave up $14 million guaranteed this year and retired. So he had a devastating knee injury in the preseason last year. Didn't play it down last year. He was the last first round pick on the offensive line that the Falcons picked the same year that we got Lindstrom, who's been an all pro for us. It sucks. McGarry was a really, really above average run defender. Excuse me. Jeez. It starts early, guys, but it gets better. Run blocker. So in the passing game. But anyway, not great when you're starting the season, but at least it was before the draft, right? So at least they can start about it.
Not too, but this would, if this happened and you were sat there with that 13th pick, as we kind of mentioned earlier, you'd feel a lot better about this.
And a great offensive tackle draft. Exactly. Yeah, trust me, it burns.
But there's still guys to have. Not all the best guys go in the first round, let alone the top 10. So guys to have.
I'm just going to quickly hit the other really quick Falcons thing. We do not have to talk about this. Of course, the Falcons picked up Bijan's 5th-year option, but I would proceed that he's going to be getting a deal at some point. We're not going to pull a Saquon here. Anyway, Batch, what else we got in news?
The Giants have signed another former Ravens player, guard Daniel Falele, to a 1-year deal. The Falcons also signed Jawan Taylor to a 1-year, $5 million deal.
Look forward to those penalties, Chapman.
Well, we got Coughlin over now, so maybe he can help him out. I don't know. We'll see. So
we thought that too, but
sorry, not Coughlin. Callahan. The other Coughlin.
Dolphins cornerback Jack Jones has just signed for the 49ers. And the NFL on Wednesday informed teams that replacement officials will begin trying next month with a view to team visits from June the 1st if no deal is agreed. Negotiations are continuing between the NFL and the Referees Association.
Go ahead.
And one more was Kenny Moore and the Colts have both agreed that they're going to try and seek a trade in his contract year.
Yeah.
And he's been
Really?
with the Colts, long stay at the Colts, 9 years
Yeah.
with the Colts. And I know that I think he's been nominated for Walter Payton Man of the Year at least a couple of times, for his work in the community and what have you. So I'm sure he'll be a piece of miss for the Colts. But anyone that needs veteran, slot corner help, Kenny Moore's a great
He's
piece
still one of the
to
better
go.
slot. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's what I
older,
mean. He's still one of the better.
Oh, yeah.
but he's still one of the better slot corners in the NFL. Like if
I
the
think I
Brown,
said
if
to
the
you, Ollie, that I was like, the Chiefs should jump at that, to be
oh
fair.
yeah,
But yeah,
100%. Like
yeah,
if the Browns were actually like thought they were going to win games next year, which they
yeah.
obviously don't. If any moves that they made would show you at the quarterback room, never mind. Then 100%, I'd be sat here going, "Oh my god, go and get him, go and get him." I mean, any contender that needs slot corner help, 100%. He's still very good slot corner.
Definitely.
I also saw that the Giants. Did we go over the Giants signed Brandon Allen? Did we get that too?
No.
Quarterback Brandon as a backup.
No, that came out today, and I've been a little bit busy in hospitals and stuff.
Oh,
He
well,
will be playing.
yeah, he will be. The last thing I want to mention that came out over the last week for the last show was that the Department of Justice in the United States is investigating the NFL now, partly because of the about whether the franchise forces fans to pay too much for the subscription fees at NFL games. This all comes back from basically to explain it, the NFL is 32 businesses that all sell the same product. And I'm stealing this from my man, Danny Heifetz from the NFL Ringer show. But basically, years ago, back in the 60s, the NFL got an exemption for being essentially a monopoly or a cartel, or what might have been a cartel for what they sell. And it gave them exclusive rights to negotiate as a body for these TV rights, which has always worked out really well for the U.S. Unlike with the Premier League here, a lot of our games on the NFL are on free broadcast television, which I think has always helped the NFL. And it's also kind of the common man sport, I guess, in America. But anyway, long story short, the DOJ, because it was for broadcasters and not for streamers. Now that the streamers over the last several years are now taking more of a bite out of that apple, it's become more expensive to watch all the NFL games, and so now there's a question whether that's legal or not. What's interesting about this is this. Right now, the NFL and the NFLPA, the Players Association, are negotiating about this 18th game. We all know the owners want the 18th game. It gives them more. It's not about butts and seats anymore. It's about giving them more inventory to sell to the networks where they really make their money, and also all the other things that come along with that. They're going to get an 18th game immediately, but with this investigation going on, basically it allows them to put off some of these basically what was triggered with the with the Paramount deal when CBS got bought, and they have to go in. It actually puts that off, and so now they can basically wait to deal with the Players Association on this. It's kind of convoluted, but essentially everything works out the NFL's favor, and it's actually better for them that this is happening right now. Because it puts off them having to do another contract with CBS. If they add another game, then they're going to be able to basically what happened when CBS was sold. It triggered a thing where the NFL can now renegotiate their contracts with all the broadcasters. But now if they wait till they get this 18th game while they're being investigated, essentially they're going to get even more money now when they invest in the next 2 years, because there's going to be, i.e., more inventory for this 18th game. So the only cool thing about this is that potentially that the Super Bowl can be on the weekend of President's Day, which would mean America could finally get that Monday off. I know that doesn't do us any good here, but yeah, President's Day, trust me, exciting. Anyway, but it's a Monday off after the Super Bowl, which everyone's always said it should be a holiday anyway. So because usually it's the biggest day in America when people call in sick. Funny enough. So anyway,
I think with a certain guy, he might make that weekend all about himself, even though it is just President's Day. But never mind.
Don't worry, Ollie and I are going to be launching our AAW politics podcast any month now. So
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's going to be called Left, Real Far Left, and Somewhat Center. So anyway, that wasn't very funny. All right, guys. So tonight we're here to talk about our dudes. Yes, because our guys was already taken by another very famous podcast, but it's our dudes. But really, these are our prospects that we're really excited about. These aren't necessarily all going to be the guys that the marquee guys that you keep hearing about in all the other podcasts. These are some not deeper dives, but some deeper dives. The way we've done this is I've asked everybody to pick one offensive player, one defensive player, and then one wild card. The wild card will be somebody who's going to be a day 3 pick, preferably in round 5, 6, or 7, and just get a potpourri of different people. So I think we should go defense first. We'll go around the horn with everybody, and I'm going to start with our draft amateur expert, Ollie. Ollie, who is your defensive player, and tell us about why he is your dude.
My defensive dude this year is a guy that I absolutely love, and that is D'Angelo Pons. And I'm not the only one that is in love with this guy. He is just such a fun player, and he's one of the few players. And Tom can attest to this. I'm not all physical traits, but I do think physical traits are important. I do think that outliers are outliers. And this is one of the few guys where I'm just like, I don't care that he's 5'9". Like I would draft this guy in the second round, let alone, I mean, I if he was 5'10", he's going in the first round. Like it's just because this guy is 5'9" that people are going to be like, oh, I'm a little bit like this. And, you see 5'9", you look at the weight, I think he's 182. I think he came in at the combine. People are going to say, well, he's limited. He can only play in the slot. This guy didn't even play in the slot in college. I'm not saying that doesn't mean he's not going to, play any slot in the NFL, but this guy played truly as an outside corner in college for the national champions who, Big Ten has won the last 3 national championships. I know SEC guys want to say, SEC. Obviously, I'm joking. SEC is a better conference overall, but the Big Ten is no joke. And doing it in a championship season, playing the teams that they played in the playoffs, looking as good as he did. He came to the combine, and I think this is why a lot of people that maybe aren't as bid into draft stuff, bid into college football. This is when a lot of everyone else heard about him because he came to the combine and 43.5-inch vertical. That's in the 99th percentile for corners. 4.36 40, that's the 92nd percentile. Just a physical freak at 5'9", 180. It's hard to explain, and he's just so much fun, and that's why he's just my guy, because he's so fun to watch. He plays so much bigger than he looks. He's a guy that I know Tom is going to bring someone up on the offensive side. Go and watch the tape of D'Angelo Pons versus I'm not going to say his name because that would give it away, but the guy that Tom is going to mention, who is 6'4". D'Angelo Pons is 5'9", and you would think that D'Angelo Pons was the taller player just based on that rep and based on the reps throughout that game. He completely had my guy in straps. So just really, really fun player. And I know, as I said, I won't go too much more, but I know a lot of people are going to say he's too small. He can only play certain roles in the slot. He can only be an outside zone corner. Don't get me wrong, he's going to be at a brilliant outside zone corner. This guy's ability to read the quarterback, this guy's just NFL, this guy's football smarts, this guy's ability to read those zones and to just know where to be in zone is special. Like, this is what I'm like. He has a special ability at that, which if he was 5'11", this is a guy that we're talking about in the top 15. So he can be really good at that. But I don't think that's all he is. I think this is a guy that, yes, you don't want him going up against AJ Brown every single week. Of course not. But this is a guy that more than happy. I am fine having him on the outside for reps. This is a guy that can easily pick up other teams' Zs, certain teams' Xs. And if you want to play him in the slot, all of that stuff as well. Just a really, really fun player. And I love rooting for underdogs. And this guy's 5'9", playing corner. Shout out all my short kings out there. Just
even though you're not one of them, Ollie.
I'm not one of them. I'm 6'2", but shout out all my short kings. One of my closest friends is 5'9", so he's gonna love this if he watches this back. Me saying this, so yeah, just such a fun player. If you get a chance to watch him, any of his highlights, go and watch him, and can't wait to see him in the NFL. And you know what? hopefully for my team because I love him that much.
Remind me again, where is he kind of projected at right now?
So he's projected. It depends who you are. I mean, it's high. There are some people saying maybe he sneaks into that top half of the first round. I don't think so. I think just because he's 5'9", no GM is going to be like, I just can't do it. So I think he can go anywhere between high second round to, I think his floor, like maybe he falls to like the low third round, but he shouldn't go anywhere later than the second round for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Pods. What a
I'd
cool
take him at
name.
39. I'd take him at 39.
I'm gonna be honest. Like when it comes to these players outside of the top 50, I just start going. They got a cool name. All right. Cool. I'm in. That's mine. So D'Angelo Ponds, definitely cool name. So he checks
Cool
it.
name
And
as well.
he played on the national championship team.
Yeah.
So
He
there
was
you
a
go.
baller as well.
And
Like,
yeah, that
I've seen
defense
the
was.
tape of him.
And
He
just
was,
as yeah, two
he was balling out.
interceptions, 10 passes defended, 60 tackles, and that was 43
He
solo
was just
tackles.
everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
this was
from
the guy.
Miami. He's from Florida too. So
And also as well, if you are worried about the whole maybe this is a guy that ran a 4-3 and he returned the punt last year as well. So like if you want to play him at special teams, there's just so much you can do with him. And I don't think he's just one of these guys that you can just go, oh well, he's a small corner, he can only play outside zone. That's it. I just don't think that's true at all.
yeah. All right, Batch. Who is your
It's quite
who's your
obvious,
dude at defense? Go ahead. Sorry.
quite obvious, but an Ohio State man, safety, Caleb Downs. I know, but I really like him. I don't watch a huge amount of college football, but when I have seen him, he's unbelievable. He's one of the best safeties in the draft this year, and he's an Ohio guy. So how can I not like him?
There you go. What made you? What was the thing that made you get excited about him? Just in terms of besides him playing for, and I'm not going to say the just Ohio State. Boring.
Actually, it's fine. That's more than enough. More than enough.
It's even worse when non-Americans do it. Jeez. Go ahead, Batch. Sorry.
Just in the regular season games, I didn't watch a huge amount, but when I did see him play, he was just everywhere. He was a monster. He physicality, speed, ability. It's just, let's be honest, a safety is exactly what you want. So he's my defensive guy. I can't say a lot because, the college ball is not my bracket.
All right, it's all good.
He's one of the best safeties we've seen in the last decades.
I mean, his football intelligence is crazy as well.
Yeah.
Like he might not have like the best hands in terms of like whatever, but like his intelligence, like in terms of the game, like understanding like where the defense and where he plays and how the receiver's going to play him, all that sort of stuff. Like he's just up here. He's got top level knowledge.
And his brother, which I didn't know, is the Colts wide receiver, Josh Downs, which is hilarious. And he's good.
Sorry, I was just going to say he's arguably the best player in the draft. The only reason he's not going to be a top 5 pick, or maybe he is, maybe someone does it, but it's just because he plays safety.
Yeah. So, he's compared to Mika Fitzpatrick, which is not a bad one. His dad was a star college player and played for the Broncos and was picked by the Giants, played for the Broncos and the Falcons. And his uncle was also an all-pro corner for the Jets.
I mean, this was a guy that came as a freshman in Alabama and was the best defensive player for Alabama, like as a freshman. Like he has been the best safety in football since he played his first game, and has been one of the best defensive players in college football since he was a freshman. Obviously, as an Ohio State fan, when he transferred to Ohio State, obviously goes and wins the national championship in his first season. Just an unbelievable player, and he's that good that if the Browns took him at 6, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be like, did we need to do it? But I'm going to be like, fuck it, it's Caleb Downs. I get it.
Yeah, excellent. Tom, who's your defensive dude in this draft?
my defensive dude is the edge out of Texas A&M. Another of the outliers that Ollie is on about. Cassius Howell. Just watching his tape, just the speed at which he just gets around tackles and gets to the quarterback is crazy. Incredible first step, elite bend. I was actually looking up like Daniel Jeremiah's draft profile of him because he's a guy who I respect a lot. Him saying outstanding twitch and production in college as well, 27 career collegiate sacks. The thing with the outlier is he does have the second shortest arms ever recorded by the edge rusher at the combine.
I was going to say
that's obviously a big thing, and he's not a great run stopper, but in terms of just the elite quickness, just watching the tape of him just get to the quarterback no matter what. I mean, there was even a game I think last year where he had 3 passes defensed in one game as a defensive, as an edge, which is kind of insane. So he's always there around the quarterback. So I just love him for that more than anything, even though his frame is, he's on the kind of smaller side. Well, he's 253 pounds, 6'2". But yeah, I just love watching his tape really and how ferocious he was.
That's cool. And where is he projected to going?
So he's projected to go, I think it's second round. Ollie,
I mean, some people like him in the foot, but it's similar with Pons. It's the production is there. If his arms were longer, then he probably goes in the foot. But like as you said, I mean, this is a guy that I think it was bottom like 2 percentile for his wingspan, for his arms. He's like bottom 20 percentile for height, for weight, all of that stuff. He didn't test that great either. Like his vertical, if like a guy like that, you'd expect like, okay, well, he's going to have like a crazy broad jump, all of that stuff. Didn't test that great, and then obviously he ran a 4.5, I think, so he's quite fast. But
he ran a 4.6, yeah.
I think where he goes will just depend on what teams need. Like he's a specialist pass rusher. Like he's not an every down pass rusher. You
need a great defensive mind who knows how to bring him in,
you need a defense that is, maybe there is a good team sat there in the back half of the first that goes, fuck it, we can do. Sorry, I swear, we can do this because like we've got thing. But like, I'd probably say he goes in the second.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take him on the Chiefs, 100%. So, but yeah, it's
but again, another fun player.
The size. Obviously, the length is an issue, but I just think, even playing against good opposition, he did seem to dominate at times. So I just like watching his tape, really.
Also, former Bowling Green.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He 1 year at Bowling Green and 2 years at Texas A&M and 27, sacks is nothing to, be smirched at.
Shout out the Falcons, man. And we all saw what oh no, that wasn't Bowling Green. Who did he play for last year? Marshall. We all saw what the guy that came from Marshall. Everyone had questions about him because he played at Marshall. He came in and was great. This guy has played at Bowling Green and Texas A&M. So fun player. It'll be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, 100%.
That's cool. All right, it's time for my defensive dude. Let me sell you on a guy who is a captain of his team on the defensive side, who's big, long, nasty. He's not the most athletic guy, but what he makes up for in athleticism, what he makes up for it is he's got burst. And this dude wants it. He is a dog. And his name is Zion Young. First of all, the reason why I got excited about it is because his name is Zion Young. What a cool. And when you want a defensive end, you want names that are cool. Myles Garrett. You want Lawrence Taylor, Zion Young. Just sounds like a nasty defensive end. This guy played in the SEC, and again, like I said, he's not the most athletic dude, but what he is he puts in a ton of effort. He's one of those like just grinder defensive ends. And as I said, he was the captain, a captain of the football team. He played in 46 games, started 37. Not like a big stat guy, like 6.5 stacks, 42 tackles, 15.5 for loss. Like, you're not like, ooh. But what it is this guy is raw. He's got a lot of talent and he's played a lot of college football. And I think, like we were talking about, you get this dude probably back end of the first round, looking at Bills, maybe looking at your team, depending on Phil's. This guy's going to go probably in the like late 20s to early 30s, maybe in the beginning of the second round, but he is going to be a dude. And I think if he gets with the right defensive coach, who can help him a little bit more with his hands and really figure out how to use his body in a way, I think this guy's going to be really good. He's got and he's just fun. And his name is Zion, man. And then no, in the NBA, we're sort of a little smarting on some Zion. Let's forget about that. Let's get this new Zion in here in the NFL. And I'm just excited about this dude playing in the SEC. Zadarius Smith is sort of his comp, which I'm like, that's great. He's probably never going to be in the high end sack, but he's going to get pressure on the quarterback. I feel like you can throw him on another end. He's going to be a special, maybe not a specialist, but I think he can play the run and do some stuff.
Shout out Mizzou.
I was going to say, and even if he doesn't develop into that pass rusher that you would hope, this is a very like his calling card is run like he is in very good run defender, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, as Isaiah McGuire coming out of Mizzou a few years ago, his calling card was run defense. Clearly, they value that there. So this is a guy that, at worst, he is going to be a very, very, very solid run defender from that edge position. He's going to set the edge in run defense, and I know the whole reason, Chapman. I know you can say it's Zion, but we all know it's because he's from Atlanta.
I actually didn't find that out until after I had picked him, by the way. So, but I do love my Georgia prospects. So,
I bet you do.
Shout out. So,
hey man, I mean that part of the country,
we're a football factory.
Yep, we get a lot of good athletes from that part of the country. So
here's the thing that people don't realize: there's more people in California, obviously Texas and Florida, than there is in Georgia. But Georgia per capita produces more college and NFL players than all three of those states. But anyway, and Ohio, I'll put Ohio up there, obviously too. All right, we're going to switch over now to the offensive side. Now, if I start to kind of like lean back in here, it's because I did not pick my wild card still. So I've got to find this out while you guys are talking. We're going to go back to same order. Ollie, who is your dude on offense?
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's going to go quite high. But the reason I picked him is because it's the person that I've been arguing with everyone on Twitter and social media with, and that is Monroe Freeling, offensive tackle out of Georgia. Shout out to you, Chapman. This is a guy that I'm a lot higher on than others. I've been higher on than others. I knew once he came to the combine, I knew he was going to have a good combine, and that his draft stock was going to go skyrocket. That's what we saw. Similar to, Tom didn't attest to this, but I don't know if you all remember last season, there was another offensive tackle that maybe didn't quite get as much buzz as the Will Campbells did going into the draft, came to the combine, lit it up, and everyone was going, hold on a minute. And that's our man, Membu. And I think we can all sit here and say that you'd rather have Membu on your team right now than Will Campbell.
100%.
100%. So I'm not saying this guy is Membu. Don't get me wrong. I think I had Membu as a slightly better prospect than I do Freeling, but it just fits that mold of these guys that they're high risers, because of the athleticism, because of the testing. I think to a Tristan Wirfs back in 2020, a similar guy as well, that, you've got other prospects like Jed Wills that year, like Will Campbell last year. This year, you can look at Fanu, you can look at Mawanoa, you can maybe say safer prospects. But when I'm projecting a left tackle especially, or a tackle overall, we can talk about technique. I understand that stuff. Yes, you have to have base level technique. I'm not saying you could just draft a guy that doesn't know how to play the position, but you can teach technique. And if there's one thing you can't teach, it's 6'7", 320 pounds, moves like a gazelle. I mean, this guy for 6'7" moves so well. He's got great footwork. That when I look at the proto archetype left tackle, that's it. It is a big guy, long guy. I mean, his arms are absolutely huge. His hands are huge. He's got clubs for hands, but can move like a gazelle. You look at all of the best offensive tackles, and especially the left tackles in the NFL, a lot of them fill this mold. This is a guy that I just think has such high upside. I think that the upside is not limitless, but I think the upside is Pro Bowl level and above. Franchise left tackle, something that we can look at the tackle class this year. We can look at the offensive line class this year. It's a good class, but there's a lot of questions about who can play left tackle. There's questions about who can even play right tackle in terms of a guy like Fanu. I mean, I project Fanu as a guard. So would you draft a guard at number 6 if you're the Browns? Probably not. Whereas Monroe Freeling, I project as he's my left tackle one. And to be honest, I think he's my offensive tackle one because, Ayomanor is a better football player right now. But as I said, you can teach technique. You can teach a guy to get better in certain things. You can't teach 6'7", 4'9", 40. It's just things like that. And it's not all about that. Don't get me wrong. Of course, you should never get completely tied up on that. You've got to have the tape to back it up. This is a guy that does have good tape. Don't get me wrong. He shows growing pains, but I just think every year we see one of these guys, and every year I'm like, the Browns should do it. They don't do it. Another team does it. Jets last year with Membu, the Bucks with Wirfs, and what happens? They end up being their franchise tackle. I think this is that guy. I just think Monroe Freeling, whoever drafts him, is going to have a franchise tackle there. And I'm so bullish on him compared to other people. I mean, some people have been having arguments about whether first round or not. I'd take this guy top 10. I think the upside and projection is there. I'm very, very bullish on Monroe Freeling.
Boom.
No,
Sorry, I just felt like somebody. Excellent. I don't know if we have anything more to say about this guy because Ollie just said it all.
He's also his mum's a yoga teacher. He's got a basketball background. He does he's big into yoga. Like if you've got taller dudes, that's music to my ears. They take care of their body. They have an athletic background. Yeah, and he's a cool guy. Looks quite cool. He's got a cool haircut. So
a cool haircut. Fair enough.
And a cool name as well.
He has the most typical white guy.
Freeling is quite a cool
Monroe
name.
Freeman, not a bad name. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
It's on the
That's
list.
a left tackle name. Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
That's future Hall of Famer left tackle name.
Batch, who is your offensive dude?
My offensive dude, again, another quite obvious one, but Makai Lemon from the USC.
Ooh.
I like him. I think he's got good upside. He's a slot receiver. He's average as far as the size goes, but his ball skills are class. He does have room to get better and to be polished around the edges, if you know what I mean. But he is intelligent. He's confident. He's got efficient press release with early acceleration. He manipulates defenders out of position with his knowledge of the routes. His combined score is looking pretty good.
I mean, apart from the interview part where he looked like
apart from the bit where he absolutely bombed the interviews, but
he was there in the press conference. Like everyone's seen the meme of that guy where he's like,
I didn't see this. What happened?
Yeah, he just completely bombed the interviews, basically.
Well, we don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not in the interviews. I have no idea how.
That being said, they said the same thing about Shador, and that got
we have no idea,
didn't it, or whatever. So yeah,
but Shador did. Pretty much everyone said he did.
I'm sure Shador did. I'm sure he did. But
there's a difference between bombing and just not taking them seriously.
Yeah.
So he just
what was funny with Lemon was the press conference. He just looked like it was weird. Like he just looked like almost like he was on drugs. It was just weird. It was kind of like everyone was just kind of came away like, okay, that was a bit weird. Which don't get me wrong, that's not a reason not to draft someone.
No, and these guys aren't all polished. Like, I mean, yes,
we
I
just
know the
found
age of
out
social media and it's like you can't everyone's not going to be completely polished on the camera, right? So
we just found out a guy was involved in a crash that someone died. I don't think looking weird in a press conference should be something that people are going to talk about. Why they
and apparently NFL teams have known that for several months.
I read a little bit about it.
Yeah. Everyone, we were the last ones to know about that.
Yeah, literally.
So, regards to Makai Lemon, he's NFL player comparison, according to Lance Zierlein, is Ammon-Ra St. Brown.
Another
Now,
USC receiver as well.
Ammon-Ra's a beast. Let's be honest, all of us would take Ammon-Ra on our team any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
So, but the problem is who's going to take this wide receiver in the top 10. I think he'll go top 10. Ollie, Tom, you two are the draft gurus compared to me. Do you agree he'll go top 10?
No, I don't. I mean, will he go top 10?
He could go top
Maybe.
10.
There's a chance.
I see him go top 20, not top 10.
Would I draft in top 10? No, I wouldn't draft any of the wide receivers this year top 10. But yeah, he could easily go top 10. I think Miami at 11 probably.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they
probably
do
the
it.
most likely.
But it's just he's a tough. Like it's tough because he's really small. Like he's not just like a slot crawler. He is really small. Like he's 5'11", which don't get me wrong, is not the small, but like he weighs nothing. He's very, very light. His hands are tiny, his arms are tiny, but he's a really, really good route runner. He's got good yak upside. Like he's a solid, good wide receiver.
So
like, he's
physical as well.
Like easily a first round wide receiver.
Like I think he's barely missed any games either, right? He's so like reliable in that sense.
Solid,
resilient.
Yeah, but maybe he's a bit weird. He's a little bit slower, maybe for a smaller guy. But I think in the right offense, he can be a very good player. He's one of them players that it could go either way. Like I reckon he could get drafted and he could suck, but he could also get drafted and be the best wide receiver out of any rookie next year.
Yeah,
that could easily happen.
Guys, he could either be really good or he could not be good.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like Carnell Tate is going to be like Carnell Tate will go and get you 600 yards next year. Like I am certain of that. Like Carnell Tate is going to be solid. Is he going to be great and amazing? I don't know, but he's going to be solid. Whereas like Makai Lemon, I think it's like I generally think this guy could. I don't know. Like he could be terrible, but I think he could also be better than Carnell Tate.
Yeah. Tom, who is your offensive dude?
So Ollie alluded to this when he was talking about the matchup between D'Angelo Pons and this guy. He's 6'4", 212 pounds, wide receiver out of Washington, Denzel Boston. Just watching his tape, he's just a beast, man. High producing, physical, X-type receiver, elite ball skills, contested catchability. He's an absolute weapon in the red zone. He's got 20 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons, I believe, and a lot of those are in the red zone as well. He's a big body guy, able to come down, like big catch radius. He's got outstanding length and body control. In terms of his weaknesses, he kind of lacks top end speed and can struggle against tight press man coverage. But he's got outstanding competitive toughness. And his kind of strong frame and ability to kind of box out defenders at the catch point is especially on in-breaking routes is something that is really, really impressive. I just love watching him, to be honest. His like physicality, his strength, his ability to just catch the ball with contested. Like I was watching his tape before. And there was a few where there's no right that he should come down with the ball, and he does. So yeah, he is my guy.
I love it.
And I want the Chiefs to draft him as well.
Where would you like the Chiefs to draft him?
At 29. If he's there.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be there. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he'll be there. I think he'll probably get drafted between. What would you say, Ollie?
He could be there. Like it's tough.
He could be. He could be there. That's the thing. He could get drafted at like 16, or he could get drafted at like 30. So it really depends on what people are valuing. But I just think he'd be an absolute beast in the Chiefs' offense with that kind of X-type receiver. 6'4" as well. Very, very Andy Reid like. He likes having a small receiver that like does whatever. But I just love to see it personally.
As you said, it would depend on what the team's like value. Like maybe like if the Eagles are getting rid of AJ Brown, maybe they go
Mm,
like give me a big bodied receiver.
yeah.
But like if you're a team that's like in that kind of 16 to 25 range and you're looking for a number one receiver, you're not going to draft Denzel Boston per se, because I
No.
feel like he's more of a fix that. This is not like you can get a lit like my only concern with Denzel Boston, which I always have with all of these guys, even this is a guy coming from someone that loved Keon Coleman, but you still always in the back of your mind have that like, am I getting sold a dream here because he's 6'4"
Mm,
and can jump like a basketball player?
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
like, am
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am I getting sold a dream that maybe it was just the fact that this guy was taller and better at catching than everyone? That's why it looked like it did. And is he going to come
Mm,
into the NFL when that doesn't work as much, it not work? So I think that is the concern that I think teams have, which I think is why there's a possibility, not just a possibility, like a good possibility, he does get to the Chiefs at 29. But as you said, I think it's going to be, I think his range is, yeah, as you said, anywhere from probably that 15, 16 range. Maybe the Bucks do it. Maybe they go, let's go get our Mike Evans
wow, that would
replacement.
be mad.
Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. This guy's not Mike Evans, just to be clear. Like, this is
No,
not,
dude, the Bucks
not
have
as,
to go defense. They've got to go
oh, yeah,
defense.
100%, 100%. I've seen them
Uh,
mocks with the tight end, which is quite funny. But yeah,
well, we know how you
he can
feel
go
about
anywhere
that.
in that range.
Um, my dude is also a wide receiver, which I know Tom. I think I swiped yours, and the only reason I got this guy is because I think he's definitely potentially on my team's radar at 48 if he gets that. And this is wide receiver Chris Brazzell the second from
Mm,
Tennessee. Um, this dude he's a separator. That's like his thing. He's not twitchy, but he's a really good route runner. And he has really good speed. He's ran a 4.37 at the combine, and he's long, and he gets faster actually as he goes. Anyway, he was for his first couple of years he had some drops, and he went from having 10 drops of his first two seasons to having just two out of 99 targets last year. He had a really strong year at Tennessee, 62 catches, 1,017 yards, and he averaged 16.4 yards with 9 TDs. He's played over 28 games, or excuse me, he's played over 40 games and started 28, which is also another thing I really like about him. He's gotten more reliable, and he's not a great blocker yet.
mm,
He doesn't seem to have a lot of commitment to that, but obviously in the college game, you're not really asked to block as much depending on where you are, especially if you're a route running wide receiver. But that's something I feel like wide receivers who have enough physical toughness can learn how to do that.
mm.
Anyway, he's just a really tricky player. His only knock is he's coming from Tennessee. And honestly,
Yeah,
the Tennessee wide receiver
I'm glad
factory
you
is
said it.
is
I'm
not
glad you said
known
it.
like some of the other SEC schools. I believe Cedric Tillman on the Browns. You guys know a little bit about
Don't
that. No,
remind me.
but he's not been. Uh, you know, he's still playing for you guys, right? Like he's still.
Yeah, and like injuries has been a big part, but like we basically had to teach this guy how to run routes. So like that is the worry is that this Tennessee offense is so gimmicky. It's so just go run a straight line. Like these guys aren't coming with a diverse route tree. But
Mm,
but Brazil, I've got like Brazil is a higher prospect for me than what Tillman was.
Yeah.
And if I think not to, but I think Denzel Boston is probably a more better comp for Tillman just because slightly slower dude, like bigger. But whereas Brazil like is quick, he's light,
rapid. Yeah.
Yeah.
he's rapid, and this is a guy that can get down fit like because Denzel Boston's got that burst. Don't get me wrong, and like Brazil, maybe a little bit better, but Brazil has that long speed, like you mentioned, Chapman, where like once he gets into stride, it's just so hard for dudes to keep up with him because he's so tall and he's so fast. Um, I it's so I'm the same as you, Chapman. It's like I love this guy, but I'm just Tennessee. I can't. I've been burnt too many
Can't get
times.
out of your
Like
head.
It
even
was
as
like
the
Ohio State quarterbacks back in the day,
yeah,
to
and like
give you like,
even as the like obviously I've been looking at all these wide receivers that are going to be available at hopefully at 24 for the Browns, and names Denzel Boston, obviously one of them. Casey Conception, probably my favorite. I was going to do him as my offensive player, decided to do Freeling instead. I'm having conversations about Brazil here sometimes. Like the tape and the testing, the physical traits project as that range.
Yeah.
But it's just Tennessee. I'm just like, I don't know. I just can't
Ollie,
do it.
it so fits you that you took Monroe Freeling ahead of Casey Concepcion as your offensive guy to talk about for sure.
What, you trying to say I'm a nerd or something, Tom?
Yeah. Do you know that
Well,
offensive tackles?
someone's got to pound the table for the big guys, all right? And I thought, otherwise, we'd have had three wide receivers here. Three wide receivers.
Yeah.
No,
Hey,
sorry, four
man.
wide. We've had four wide receivers. So
Yeah,
someone
true.
had to do it. Someone had to do it.
Hey, man. Wide receivers are sexy. So,
I know. I get it. I
So,
get it.
all right, guys, we're going to do the wild card round. Let's be a little more succinct. Just because, but anyway, all I want to know is why teams should draft this guy, this dude, and why you love him. Ollie, who's your wild card
Riley Noah Tasty,
from?
another Indiana, another Indiana player. I'm an Ohio State fan, and I've given two Indiana players, but they are the national champions. They deserve the credit. I mean, don't get me wrong. This was a 5 years at Wisconsin before he got to his sixth college season in Indiana. I normally would never in a million years touch anyone that played 5 years of college, let alone 6 years of college.
Hmm.
But this is a guy that genuinely you could go and grab in like the sixth or seventh round, and I'm not going to be shocked if in 3 years he's a Pro Bowl fullback. Like this is a guy that he came to Wisconsin as a linebacker, got moved to a fullback, played some tight end. He played tight end for Wisconsin, for Indiana. But just go and watch this guy run blocking in Indiana. What was their calling card last year? That run game. How good was their run game? This guy was arguably one of the most important roles in that run game. Just such a good block. I mean, he's got that just kind of, I don't even know how to just round build where he's just so good to fill that mold. He's like, I think he's 6'2", 260. You look at Pat Ricard when he came out, I think he was 6'2", 280 when he came out. Not saying he's going to be Pat Ricard, one of the best fullbacks we've seen, but this is a guy that, like, if you're a team that values the fullback, even as a H-back, you value that. You can go and get this guy in the sixth, seventh round, and I generally wouldn't be surprised if he turns into a Pro Bowler. He has all of the skills that you want for a fullback. It's not sexy. It's the reason why he won't go anywhere higher. That like maybe someone does it in the fifth, but he's not going to go high in the draft because he's a sixth-year starter and he's probably going to be a fullback. But fullbacks are important. If you can use a fullback in your offense, we all saw how Pat Ricard, what he did with the Ravens. If you're a team like my team, that's why obviously this guy's on my radar. That is obviously looking for that. Here's your guy. Here's your fullback. Go and get him.
Bring back the fullback. It's a position I wish more. The Kyle Shanahan
uses an offensive
it,
tackle and a fullback.
There we go. You're playing very true to form, Ollie. Thank you. Batch, who's your wild card dude?
His name is Max Iheanacho. He's from Arizona State. I like him. He's 40-yard dash, 4.91, vertical 30.5, broad jump 9'7", 25 reps on the bench. I like him. I just think he's a bit of a monster. He actually didn't grow up as a natural NFL player. He moved over from Nigeria to Compton, and he played football in Nigeria before coming over to the NFL. I like that. I think that's an interesting backstory. And I actually also like the fact that I can't say his name, so I don't think commentators are going
to. I'll try and give you I've been learning this. Tom, what was the one a couple of years ago? The offensive tackle that I drilled into my brain. I can't remember. But anyway.
Yeah, it was the guy that the Chiefs took, right?
Yeah, either way. But my best go at this batch for you is Max Iheanacho. So Max Iheanacho.
I remember it, Ollie. I remember it. Yeah. Kingsley Suamataia.
Oh yeah, Kingsley Suamataia. There we go.
Suamataia.
And don't get me wrong, this is a guy that was like projected as kind of like a mid round, maybe a few months ago. I think this guy's going to go in the first round. So don't get me wrong, Batch is not our college guy, and I'm glad that he brought him up because I really like this guy. If the Browns want to go tackle at 24, I'd take this guy at 24. He didn't start playing football until he was like 18, and look at Lane Johnson, look at these other guys. My only concern, and we can have a little laugh about this in the group chat. I've been asking everywhere for this guy's age for like 2 months. I've been trying to find out this man's age for literally 2 months. I couldn't find anything. People have started to say, is this a Nigerian under-17s football scenario where he's actually 28? No, I don't think it's that. I'm not saying it's that, obviously, to that extreme. But this guy could have been, if he's 24 doing what he was doing in college, that makes a massive difference to the evaluation than if he was 22. Apparently, he is 22. If that is the case, and obviously teams will find this out, I think the sky's the limit. This could be one of the better tackles in this class. I love him.
Nice.
Thank you for bringing him up.
Batch. There you go. Tom, who's your wild card dude?
My one, he has a name that you might like. It's a random. I love this name, to be honest. His name is Ephesians Prysock, which is just.
Is that? Wait a minute. Is that real?
Yes, it is real. He is
like
not
like a book of Bible
in Madden or something. His real name is Ephesians Prysock. He is a cornerback, again, out of Washington. I love my Washington Huskies. I don't know why. But in terms of, elite length and exceptional size, he's 6'4". He ran a 4.46 40-yard dash. He's got a good blend of athleticism, zone instincts, uses his length to disrupt plans and timing. And he has this schematic versatility to play in a variety of different defenses. He's got excellent route recognition skills in zone coverage, plays with consistent depth and takes away throws. Uses his hands well in press coverage. The main drawback that he has is that he can get a bit handsy in press coverage, so he can give away penalties with that, and he can be somewhat inconsistent with his time and combined with late feet on releases, so he can kind of allow receivers to stack him vertically. But I just think he's a freak. Like I watched him and I was like, wow, like this guy's projected to be, I think, a 5th rounder. I think he's CB 15. But his pro comparison is a Caleb Evans, who had an okay career. So, but yeah, for nothing more than the name.
I was going to say, yeah,
like,
it's one of the better
name
names
is incredible. I saw the name and I was like, I have to research this guy. Ephesians Prysock.
Can you cut and paste it into the chat? Because I just want to look at it. So,
my first kind of look at this guy was the Senior Bowl, and the same thing, Tom. It was like I just saw the name and I was just like, that's brilliant. That is a brilliant name. Yeah. Tested pretty well as well, to be fair.
That is his name, Chapman.
Yeah, that is the name. Well
Ephesians.
done to Tom for being able to pronounce it.
Well, there you go. My Christian school background's coming into right there. So Ephesians Prysock. All right. My wild card was a wild card, and now I think I'm probably going to get voted off the island for this because his stock has been rising since the combine. But I had to pick a Georgia player, not the University of Georgia, Georgia State, and that is wide receiver Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is a 6'4" dude who ran a 4.42 at the combine. He is a big old wide receiver, and he had a great year at Georgia State College this year. He was projected to go on day 3, but now because of his elite speed and frame, he's a big guy that has an elite broad jump, which was 11 feet. It was a 99 percentile broad jump. That's all I know. Graded huge at the process. So this is one of those elite athletes who did produce well, but only at a smaller school like Georgia State. I think he had stats here for. Hold on one second. Sorry. He had 71 yards. Yeah, he had 1,000 yards, 71 receptions, 6 touchdowns. He was a first team all Sun Belt. So again, this is one of those classic traits over. He did perform, just necessarily not against elite D1. But this is a dude maybe that if he falls like into the, let's say he doesn't go in that 3rd round, but he's in the 4th or 5th round, and you're looking for somebody who's definitely going to contribute on special teams probably right away. but you maybe can grow him into, I think his ceiling's probably going to be a wide receiver 3, potentially, maybe a wide receiver 2, but he's definitely somebody that looks like he's got a lot of really great traits. And I just like Ted Hurst, just a boring name. Just a boring name for a wide receiver, but
But I feel like it's the perfect name for a wide receiver from Savannah, Georgia. Like,
there you go.
I just feel like it just works that played for Georgia State.
Yeah, well, then actually, that's not a name from Savannah, Georgia, but I know
Oh
he is
no,
from Savannah.
I highly doubt it is, but that's what I mean. It's just
It's
that's
it's
why I
it's
like
it's
it.
it's ironically boring to
Yeah,
being from
He
yeah.
sounds
Savannah,
like a
Georgia.
guy that's going in and like clocking in and punching
It
But that's
sounds
the
like
forward
somebody
or
who probably
something.
caught
Like,
like who caught like 1,000 yards 5 years for like Peyton Manning on those Colts
yeah, yeah,
teams.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So
that's
you
that's
know,
For
normally
sure.
that's normally the white guy name that everyone goes, yeah, but he's gonna work hard and he's gonna,
yeah.
it's the Bill Belichick kind of, yeah, but he's gonna work hard, he's gonna be the first one in,
Mm,
and it's like, yeah, but sometimes I need the speed. This guy has the speed, so
yeah.
No, Ted Hurst, not white, by the way.
yeah,
Uh,
just to make that clear.
all right, guys. So that was our dudes, our prospects for the draft. Next week we will be doing our hot and cold takes. The week before, it'll be the last show before the actual draft. We'll be going over we'll be talking about all the gossip. We'll get into everything there, all the stuff we've been putting off talking about. So please join us next week, guys. Do you have anything else you want to bring up? Any other players? Anybody? Anything
Yeah,
before
one
we?
player,
Oh,
Unar
okay.
Bernard.
Dunard Bernard.
Unar Bernard. He's never played football before, and UAR Bernard. He's Nigerian, 6'4", weighs 306 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a monster. It's just a shame he's never played
But you
football
love your
before.
Nigerians, don't you?
I mean, no one is going to draft this guy. Like, undrafted free agent, and maybe a team goes, why not? I mean, you can't, as I said earlier, you can't really teach. I
Just
mean, this
get him
guy
on a practice squad.
he
Just get
ran
him
a
on a
four
practice squad.
six at 300 pounds, guys. 4'6" at 300 pounds. That's not even real. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? That's like, I didn't even know Viltrumites could do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just insane. So,
Wait, did you say he's 4'6"?
no, he ran a four
Oh, he
six
ran a 4'6". I was going to
Oh
say
at
wow.
300 pounds. Like, I
that's
don't think
insane. Yeah,
like
that
that's
is
like
crazy.
that shouldn't even work.
Yeah, like that's mad.
Say do try Ray. I'll do the shout out. British tight end, coming out of Mississippi State, is it? I think. He won't get drafted. Don't get me wrong, but maybe he does. Maybe we get one. Who was the offensive tackle the Bills took
Yeah,
a couple of years ago?
Travis.
Sorry, mate, whatever his name is.
Oh,
British
what was his
legend.
name,
I'm not
man?
sure he's actually played yet, but
Travis
maybe
Clayton.
Travis Clayton. Maybe it's a similar situation like that where like maybe a team does it towards those last few picks at the end of the 7th round. But he's an uber athlete and he's British, so shout out to him.
There we go. Well, that is our prospect talk. Hot takes, cold takes next week. Please, we invite you very kindly to join us on our socials, AAW_NFL, on all the Instagrams, the whatnots. Gosh, I sound like I'm 44 for no reason. I'm not even that old. Anyway, yeah. On X, Twitter, please join us. Follow us. Follow the guys here, Batch, Tom, Ollie. Thank you so much. It's been a great episode. We will see you next week to get you ready for the draft. Hurdle that prospect. Good night.
Peace.